Hey, I'm Bobby Rio. Rob Judge and I wanted to give you access to this clip from a longer in-depth training that we did for our subscribers a few months back. Now, ever since Rob released his end of dating video, we've been getting dozens of emails a day from guys who want to know the secret behind the picture that we show in the beginning of that video. That picture, though, is just one example of a technique that we call gaslighting. And gaslighting is crucial if you want to stay on a woman's mind in this new dating culture that we're in. Now, in this video you're about to watch, you're also going to discover how to spark obsessive thoughts about you in her mind when you're not around, how to get her playing a fantasy of you over and over in her head so she can't stop thinking about you. Plus, we're going to show you a simple formula for controlling any woman's mind in what we call the attention age. Now, guys who've already started implementing this have told us that it is the most powerful tactic they've ever tried to seduce a woman with, and almost always works. And stick around to the end because I have a special announcement regarding the Dating Apocalypse package that you're not going to want to miss. Enjoy the video.
But you need to learn how to stay on her mind when she's offline. When the cell phone's in her pocket, you want her to keep thinking about you. You want to monopolize her attention to the point that she doesn't need to be on Facebook, she doesn't need to be on Instagram, she doesn't even need to have a smartphone in her hand to be thinking about you. Because we said before that, in the dating apocalypse, things move fast. So that's why you want to turn her attraction into obsession in a very short period of time. And the thing is that and again, to reference, unlock her likes for guys that are familiar with that, obsession only happens offline or when she's away from you. When she's away from her phone or you're not in her presence, she'll become obsessed with you because she gets herself obsessed. Then this is so powerful. This is something that Bobby's actually the one who really hammered this into my head. And this alone, even before this whole dating apocalypse thing happened, I find it so impactful to my dating life. But you could put this on steroids now that you have these different digital channels available to you to fan the flames even more. Because, again, obsession can only happen in one place, in her own mind. And the thing is that a woman's fantasy of you is always going to be more attractive than reality. That's the thing. What she can imagine is always going to be cooler, better than anything you could probably show her in real life. But the thing is, there's a caveat with that. You have to plant the seed that ignites that fantasy of you. And it's a very easy way to do that. It's kind of a little devious technique that I quietly like to call digital gaslighting. And gaslighting is a term that I'm sort of borrowing from psychology. And again, I have to blame Bobby for this a little bit. Bobby's the one who's really the master at coming up with this, even long before the dating apocalypse. But I kind of took a lot of the stuff I learned from Bobby and just transitioned it into sort of a digital format. So, Bobby, if you want to jump in here, I fully acknowledge that I'm sort of your disciple and you're the guru master here.
I would just jump in and explain a little bit about the gray area, right? The uncertainty zone. And I'll let you jump back into it here, is that what you really want to realize, right, that where a girl gets obsessed with you is in this gray area. The gray area is the point where she does not know what's going on, right? Where she's confused. Confusion is your friend. You may have heard us talk about this before, but you really want to drill it in. Confusion is your friend. The more confused she is, the more she's thinking about you. The more in, we call it the gray area, right? They say black is he likes me, white is he likes me not, right? He doesn't like me, right? Gray is she doesn't know what's going on, right? She has no fucking clue, but she's curious. That's the area you want to push her into. And the benefit, as Rob's going to talk about now, is that in the past, it was you had a few weapons, right? 5-6 years ago, it was I would talk to a guy and I would be how do you got to get her into the gray area? Well, how do you do it, right? If you're not seeing her, how do you do it? Well, you can not text her, or you can text her something that's kind of confusing, or it all had to do with what you can do to her, right? You can hang up the phone faster, you can tell her there's things you can do. But now, as Rob's going to talk about digital gaslighting, right? Gaslighting is essentially doing things to make somebody come to their own conclusion. And now with all this stuff, and this is really powerful, but at the same time, it's kind of sneaky and manipulative, so we kind of have to preface that. But you have the ability to use this technique called digital gaslighting. I'll let you take over again, Rob, but I just wanted to kind of clarify this idea that your ultimate goal with gaslighting is to get her into that uncertainty area, that gray area.
Yes, exactly. And because the thing is that gray area is what ignites the chase. It makes her, you're really giving her the gift of that chase. That's why, as much as we say, it's sort of a sneaky, sort of manipulative strategy, and, in some ways it is, but it's also giving her what she wants. She wants to fight for your attention. She wants to wonder. She wants to go on Google and be wondering, what did this mean? Oh, he did this, and whatever. You're actually giving her what she really wants. An easy way to think about this is like it's showing her something that raises more questions. That's how you're going to do this, in a digital medium. It's about leaving her wondering, leaving her unsure. And we're talking very abstractly, so let me just jump right into a case study. Imagine this, okay? Think about Instagram, whether you're on Instagram or not. Just humor me for a minute. Imagine you see a post. It's like a Thursday night. It's tagged at like some swanky lounge. And the caption reads, cheers. So that's sort of like the foundation, right? It's like an Instagram post of a picture and it has the caption cheers. Which one of these pictures do you think is more likely to get a girl obsessed? A picture that shows a guy and a girl, the girl's attractive and they're holding drinks and they're smiling like as if they're about to say cheers. Or a picture that just shows 2 drinks. But not just any 2 drinks, not just like 2 beers or whatever, or 2 shots. It's like a beer and an appletini. You see, before the dating apocalypse, most guys would say the first picture, right? And probably even a lot of guys were thinking, oh, well, it's a picture of like me and an attractive girl. Like that usually would show like, pre-selection, or would show that women, because women tend to feel more attracted to guys who are already pre-selected or are wanted by other women. It goes back to like evolutionary psychology, but any guy who's like been out with a hot girl at a nightclub knows that the attention you get when you're with a beautiful woman is a lot different than the attention you get by yourself. But now that's changed, okay? And that's one thing I really want to highlight here, because it's all about that second picture, the one that puts her in that gray area. Because the picture of like you and an attractive girl, that's black and white. She sees the girl, and even that girl's smoking hot. She's like, okay, but it's in front of her. She's not thinking about it later on. She's not thinking, oh, who is this girl? What does she look like, or whatever. But in the second picture, it keeps you on her mind because it makes her wonder. She's wondering, okay, like, is this a date? Is that a girl? And the girl that she's going to imagine that you're with, if you've already gotten her attention, you've already done that step 1, is so much hotter than any girl you could probably show her. It's how you turn even the faintest spark of attraction into an inferno of obsession, because she's the one doing all the work. This is what I'm talking about, with gaming 24/7, and there's no pause button. The thing is that like you can't expect to keep showing her pictures or to keep sending her text messages all the time. So even better, have her do the work. You stay on her mind, but the thing is, the way you're going to stay on her mind, the way those wheels are going to be turning in her head like a little hamster on a wheel, is by raising questions that she's going to be the one scrambling to get the answers. It goes back to what Bobby said before, that gray area. And a picture that gaslights her sends her down a rabbit hole of uncertainty, which keeps you on her mind both when she's online and when she's offline.
Yeah, and there's so many ways to do it. It could be pictures. Like Rob gave you an example of a picture, right? And I actually, I had a guy that I was coaching, and he's running the scrambler on some girl, and he's like, he had hired me, and I go, well, what have you been doing? He's like, every day I'm posting pictures of myself with like different girls and on Facebook, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like trying too hard. She knows, like, it's like if a girl knows you're angry, or if she knows you're trying to make her jealous, it's having the opposite effect, right? The minute she's like, oh, he's posting these pictures to make me jealous, she no longer is jealous, right? Not only that, but like Rob said, it also gives her nothing really to think about, because either she thinks she's going to either have 2 thoughts at that point. She's going to think, he's trying to make me jealous, and which is an unattractive quality in you, or, oh, he's out there banging other girls, which is like a girl's ego is going to go at that point, yeah, well, I guess, forget about him. But the picture that Rob suggested raises a question. Is he with a girl, right? Is he with a girl? That gives her something to think about. And you've probably remembered a time, I know I have, right? Like, I've played fucking detective with girls, like, profiles and shit where, like, I'm going back to, like, scrolling through, trying to see what they did on a certain date that they weren't asking, It's like girls are even worse than we are with that. Trust me. I have a girlfriend now, and I watch what they do. And it's like they're trying to put puzzles together and shit. Like, they're reading into everything online, even with their friends. I see them go, oh, she said this, and like trying to figure it out. They love that, right?
Exactly, and that's the thing. You want her checking every single girl who liked that picture and investigating their profiles. You want her, clicking on, if it was like a lounge, she's like scrolling through all the pictures, hoping to catch like a glimpse of you and a girl in the background of someone else's photo, whatever. That's the thing about that's why this whole digital phenomenon and this whole dating apocalypse is so powerful, because she could spend so much time online trying to track down answers that she's never even going to get. And think about it, the whole time she's doing that, when she's putting in all that effort, when she's putting in all that time, she's exerting all this mental energy, the only logical conclusion that she's going to have, she's going to backward rationalize, wow, I must really like this guy. Wow, look at all this time I spent trying to track down who this girl was. I must have like really strong feelings for this guy. So it's just so interesting to me how you could take a girl, even if she has a faint interest in you, and you could just amplify that by a magnitude of like 100 just by throwing in a couple key posts. It don't always have to be pictures. Again, I use the picture example because it's very easy to understand. But just by introducing a little of that uncertainty, how far that can take you in this whole like digital, this dating apocalypse or this digital era.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is that it does not take a lot of work. It's almost a case of less is more. So like, I remember when I was first going like this, I was like, I'm not the type, like, I don't like being on social media, right? Like, I have a Facebook account, I have, various accounts, but I'm not the kind of guy that wants to be posting every day, right? Like, I don't like it. I don't have like an Instagram thing where I'm like constantly posting pictures. But here's the great thing is that it's not about being the guy posting every day. It's about being very calculating with what you post. And if calculating is like a manipulative word, I mean, everybody's essentially calculating. I mean, if you're posting stuff on social media, you're doing it for a reason. Like whether somebody's posting a picture of their vacation and whatever, they're doing it because they want to look cool to their friends, right? Everything anybody does on social media is calculating in some way. But you want to keep in mind that it's not about like, oh, we're not saying every day you've got to be like, because guys take this the wrong way, and they think, oh, Bobby is saying we got to be on social media posting all the time and living our life and showing off. It's not about that, because it's like one simple post of like, just use an example he gave of the beers and the martini with the thing cheers. She scrolls through your page and she sees that. That's going to say a lot more than you with like 15 posts. It's like you just want to be smart about them. And, we've got tons of different examples of these kind of posts that you can do, but you just want to think, is my post going to open up a question in people's minds rather than close the loop? You always want to open a loop rather than close it.
Hey, Bobby back, and I hope you found that video helpful and your brain is already spinning with ways to put this stuff into action. Now, as you may already know, included in the Dating Apocalypse package is an entire video training dedicated to this gaslighting tactic, which puts women into that uncertainty zone that we just talked about. Now, we go in depth in how to pull it off and get a woman completely chasing you, even if she's already pulled away, even if she's already started losing interest. As you know, gaslighting is only one step. There's so many other rules you need to be aware of in this new hookup culture. That's why Rob and I urge you to take us up on our offer to try out the Dating Apocalypse package completely risk-free for 2 full months and get all the bonuses: the match multiplier report, the first message black book, the forward moving phrases collection, the strategy guide for closing the deal on the first date, and also the complete guide to sexting. Now, Rob and I have decided to do something special for the next 2 days. We have a brand new additional bonus that will be available for the next 48 hours. In fact, we have 4 new additional bonuses that will only be available for the next 48 hours, which means if you register for the Dating Apocalypse package today, in addition to all the bonuses I already told you about, we just finished up 4 brand new bonuses. Let me tell you about them. Bonus number 1 is called the Tinder View. See, what Rob did is Rob sat down and did an hour-long interview with the girl he met off Tinder, where she basically spills the beans on everything women look for, what turns them on, what turns them off, and exactly what they want. Here's a quick clip from the actual interview.
I mean, like, how many dates have you, like would you say you go on? All right, okay, so,
so I've met 7 people on Tinder in person, and I've had sex with 5 of them.
Okay.
So you'll get the entire hour-long interview when you sign up for the Dating Apocalypse package right now. Once you have these secret nuggets that she drops throughout the hour, you'll find it so much easier to pull hot women off dating apps, get them back to your place, and get them into your bedroom. So let me tell you about bonus number 2. It's called the Girl Decoder Handbook. What Rob discovered on Tinder is that women fall into one of 5 personality types. And depending on which of the types she is, the way you pursue her will be slightly different. In this handbook, you'll learn how to quickly identify her type, and then you'll get a strategy guide for each specific type of woman you'll meet on dating apps. When you have this, it's like you can read her mind, predict her thoughts, and play right into that fantasy that she has in her mind, and easily get her to meet up with you, have sex with you, and turn her into your girlfriend, wife, or even just a friends with benefits. Here's bonus number 3. It's called the Secret Seduction Word for Word Transcripts, where you can read through every single message sent between Rob and a model as he reels her in, captures her interest, and gets her into bed. You'll get to see every single thing he said that got her so anxious to meet up with him. You can copy it if you want and have the same ridiculously hot girls in your bed. And finally, let me tell you about bonus number 4. It's called 20 Texts That Lead to Sex. Now, this is a special report Rob put together with his all-time 20 favorite text messages that he sends women to completely turn them on and get them anxious to meet up with him. These texts work so well because they stand out from all the other messages in her phone. They're full of personality and they make you look experienced with women. These are cut and paste style messages that will work to make any text interaction more fun, more flirty, and even more sexual. You'll never be stuck wondering how to reply to something, or you'll never be searching your brain for a flirty message to send, or any of that ever again. You just flip through this guide, type one of the 20 messages into your phone, hit send, and just sit back and wait. So here's the deal. When you sign up for the Dating Apocalypse package right now, you'll also get those brand new bonuses completely free. That's in addition to everything else you're already getting. However, these bonuses completely disappear in 48 hours. So if you're on the fence about our package, do not delay or you'll miss out on these 3 bonuses. I can tell you right now, the Tinder view alone is worth $69.50. As in the middle of the video, you'll discover a huge surprise. I won't spoil it for you, but you don't want to miss it. So here's what you do. Click the link below, register for the Dating Apocalypse package, and inside the members area, along with all the other bonuses, you'll find these 4 reports and videos. Remember, you're completely covered by our 2-month guarantee. In fact, you can purchase, take a quick glance at the material, and even if you decide after 2 minutes you don't like it, you can send us an email and we'll refund it, no questions asked. So you really have nothing to lose, but make sure you sign up right now because that way you get these 4 additional bonuses before they disappear for good. Scroll down to the bottom and sign up right now.